The Detroit Area Agency on Aging is well known for its Meals on Wheels program, but the organization also provides a lot of other services and resources to seniors, adults with disabilities, and caregivers, for example. The agency can help with long-term and in-home care, health and wellness education, housing and transportation resources, and adult daycare. Here to tell us more is the president and CEO, Ronald Taylor. Welcome to American Black Journal.
Well, thank you for having me, Stephen.
So I have known about Meals on Wheels since I was a volunteer for it when I was in high school. But for people who are maybe not as familiar with it, talk about that program, how long it's been around, and how effective it is.
Yeah, the Holiday Meals on Wheels program has actually been around for 31 years,
Yeah.
especially for Thanksgiving. And it's we probably have about 600 volunteers that come out on over 2 days. As far as this year, it'll be the 27th and the 28th. And essentially, it's a very much needed program because within, as far as some of the federal statistics as we know, there's 10 million individuals that are living with food insecurities, and there's over 15 million that are living with in social isolation, and over 18 million that are living with, as far as that we consider to be living in poverty. And many of those individuals are our neighbors here in this community. So we've been fortunate to receive funding from the Ford Motor Fund this year to the tune of $50,000 to help deliver over 6,000 meals to some of our most needy, or I won't say needy, but some of those individuals that could use a meal on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Okay? So, because what we recognize is that hunger takes no holidays.
That's right. That's
Yes.
right. And the trouble, or the really challenging thing about food insecurity, I think, right now is how fluid it is. When people think about people not having food, they think it's a constant thing. In other words, you either have food or you don't. But really, people move in and out of that space all the time. They have food sometimes, but not all the time. And the holidays in particular can be really tough.
That's so true. That is so true. And it's, and with the holidays also, there's opportunities for those that don't have food. I mean, that's one issue as far as the food insecurity. But you also have to take a look at it from the emotional aspect of things, and then just the opportunities to come together to be with family. And we have individuals that don't have the opportunity to engage as far as to have those family supports, to have those conversations, to have that laughter, to have that joy.
Right.
And so through our delivery of the meals, it's an opportunity to go out there and say hi and to put a smile on someone's face and to have some conversations with individuals that may not have that interaction on a holiday,
right,
on this Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it's something we often take for granted, that we'll be with other people on the holidays. The other part of your work that I think is probably changing a lot and people may not be aware of is the caregiver space, because that's changing for all of us so much. So many people are being cast into the role of caregiver when they maybe never imagined themselves having to do that.
Yeah, caregiving, it's an issue that a lot of individuals may not even recognize that they're caregivers and that they're filling that role, because you could be a grandparent raising a grandchild, but you're a caregiver. You could just be an individual that's loving or taking care of your spouse and just doing what you feel is your moral duty, and you're providing caregiving services. And some estimates have indicated that caregiving is a $400 billion informal insurance program in many ways. But one of the things which we have to realize is that we have to provide supports to that caregiver, because they can more likely burn themselves out. So we are trying to fill that gap or fill that space through respite programs and also support services, and also trying to reach out to other entities within our community to see how we can more effectively provide the resources that will allow that individual to continue to provide what I'll say is a selfless love to their loved one.
Yeah. How much are you finding that you need to educate caregivers about not just what they're doing, but how to take care of themselves?
We're finding that that's a big part of it, because a lot of caregivers, sometimes they feel guilty for feeling stressed out or for having moments of angst. And what we have to realize is that's a normal part of the process. And so through some of the support groups and some of the other resources in which we can provide, it provides an opportunity for the caregiver to get the resources and also to just vent or to speak with others as far as what are some of the other coping mechanisms that you've utilized, what are some of the best practices that you have embraced, and also we can provide other respite services to say that, hey, I just need some time, some me time, and can you take care of mom, dad, or my loved one, or, even my grandchild, so that I can just, have some time for myself.
Yeah, yeah. Is that where services like the adult daycare, for instance, comes in? The idea that you can give people time and a break.
Yes, it's the adult daycare in which an individual can essentially, arrange to have their loved one taken care of while they go out and go do shopping, go get their nails done, have a spa day, or do whatever it is in which they need to do. So the adult daycare does play a big role in that. But also one of the things which we're really looking at is getting a cadre of volunteers that can actually go into the home and to sit with an individual while the caregivers also, may want to run their errands or do other things.
Yeah, yeah. What are some of the other services that people may not know about that you guys?
That's a great question because a lot of folks realize and understand that the Detroit Area Agency on Aging, that we're, as far as our Meals on Wheels program and our Holiday Meals on Wheels program, but we have what I'll say is a continuum of services in which we can offer to the community. And I would say everything from senior centers. We have 5 community wellness centers in which we sponsor, and those programs essentially do evidence-based programs, matter of balance, things with dementia. So it's an opportunity to go and socialize, get a good meal, but also learn about some things that'll keep you healthy and allow you to age in place. And then the services go through transportation and also some other social recreation. But the other end of the continuum, though, we do provide services in the home as far as personal care and case management activities. So we pretty much have a great continuum of services in which we can offer to the community.
Yeah. How are you finding the challenge of making sure that you have people to be able to do this? The training, the opportunity to become somebody who can do this, I would imagine, is changing as well.
Yeah, well, we're fortunate that we have within our team, we have a number of social workers and nurses that can go out and do in-home assessments to see what your situation is from a social economical perspective. But then we also have a network of approximately 160 service providers, or I like to call partners, in which they also serve as part of the umbrella that allows us to reach out to provide services to our constituents.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Well, I can only imagine how much the change in your world is challenging you. So congratulations for sticking in there and keeping all these services available to people.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Thanks for coming by.
And I would just like to say, if folks need services, they can reach us at www.detroitsenior.solutions.org.
Yeah, yeah, and we'll put that info on our website as well.
Okay.
All right. Thanks for being here.
Okay. Thanks so much.